Hey everyone, Intercept here from Juzt Zurvive. Welcome to the very first episode of the Dev Note series. These will be semi-regular videos breaking down our new updates and help keep you all informed on some of the development going on our server and what you can expect in the future.
Just survive, kill it, just survive, on it, run it, just survive, in it, just survive.
As always, we recommend reading through our rules channel, as these can often change. First up, let's dive into the exciting new features that we've introduced this season. We've introduced 2 new map zones to bring a fresh dynamic to the way that players move around the map. These are the quarantine zones and red zones. The quarantine zones are custom areas that are completely walled off with up to 3 entrances, and are also totally free of zombies. These zones are located at Kamyshovo on Chernarus and Kolembrody on Livonia. The quarantine zones have been upgraded to spawn tier 3 loot, despite being near coastal spawns, so expect these to become PvP hotspots as players fight over the easy tier 3 loot in the early game. And these are also no build zones. Red zones are the opposite of quarantine zones in that they have large hordes of zombies, making these incredibly challenging to navigate. These zones have several military tents littered around containing tier 4 loot, so if you want top tier loot without the trek to Tizzy or Dolnek, then these are the places to go. The red zones can be found at Lopatino, Ratno and Sinistock on Chernarus, or in Livonia they're at Gliniska or Lukau Airfield, Nabor Military Base and Krakow, the custom city south of Sitnik. It's likely too difficult to enter these as a solo player given the number of zombies, so we would always recommend entering these zones well armed, with plenty of ammo and medical supplies, and as part of a well coordinated group. Season 9 has brought a few rule changes that will change the way that players build their bases. To improve server performance and address complaints about large bases, we've introduced a new rule limiting bases to 2 flags. Any bases that don't fit within 2 flags will despawn. Any groups that want bigger bases will need to build 2 separate bases at least 15 meters apart, as each base is allowed 2 flags. One of the biggest changes to base building is the ban on fence pole walls and gate stacking. With this change, it will no longer be possible for players to exploit fence poles to build indestructible walls, which was a common complaint that we had last season. There's now a minimum distance between fences and gates, meaning that gate stacking is no longer possible. The minimum distance is equal to 1 gate's width. An easy way to measure this is simply building a gate, opening the gate, and building the next one behind it. This change aims to force base builders to be more strategic with their building, rather than just slapping 20 gates in an archway and making it too hard to raid. Garden plots have been disabled. These will now despawn within a few seconds of being dug. This was done to prevent them from being exploited to boost into bases. A similar option is also being explored for fireplaces. With this change, it does mean that players are no longer able to dig their own plots to farm food. Players will instead have to seek out the greenhouses around the map and use them to farm. These greenhouses can also be purchased and placed at custom locations. These will work exactly the same as water and gas pump base resources. We've also made a lot of changes to loot balancing this season. There's quite a few to go through, so I'll go through the bigger changes now. Nail boxes and explosives have been reduced by 35% to balance the new base building changes. The engraved colt and gold deagle are now rare items that spawn in top tier areas, so that's Tizzy and southern cities in Livonia. 9x39 ammo is now tier 2, 9x19 ammo is now tier 1 and 2, the standard deagle is now tier 2, the normalised AK suppressors are now tier 3, the 1PN51 optic, that's the night vision scope for the AKs, is now tier 3, the OKZK cap is now tier 1 for the beige variant, and tier 2 for the green variant. All 90 slot filled backpacks are now tier 3, claymores, military belts, plate carrier pouches, assault vest bags, combat pants, combat jackets, desert CUU pants, desert CUU jackets, KA-101 mags and beige military boots are all now tier 2 and 3. Gas mask filters are now tier 3 and above, and box nails now have an additional chance to spawn on dynamic train crash sites. There's also been some Chernarus only loot changes. The green M4s are now specific to tier 3 and the black M4s are tier 4. Road flares are tier 1 and 2, and the VSD mags have been reduced by 28%. The bunker loot has been reworked following complaints that there were very few items of value spawning there. Players can no longer log off in the bunker. This is to prevent farming loot. On Livonia, claymore mines are no longer bunker exclusive. They can now spawn in any military areas, and POX files have been moved from the bunker to the Swarog toxic zone. On Chernarus, we've increased the number of NBC and mummy zombies at the entrance to the bunker. We've increased the chances of spawning at one of the custom inland spawns. This is following feedback from the community. The despawn timer of dead players has been reduced from 60 minutes to 30, with the aim to improve server lag. The compass that you used to spawn with has now been replaced with another canned food. The trader has seen some significant changes to loadout kits. The insurgent kit has had the Vic here removed and replaced with the KAM and 2 70 round drum mags. The hunter kit now comes with a rangefinder. The CDF patrol kit has had the DMR removed and replaced with a new BS-89 sniper, and a spare KA-101 as backup. The commander kit now comes with a suppressor for the M4. Other changes include the addition of the VS-89 bolt-action rifle, the Vic-Here assault rifle, the repeater carbine, and the new payday mask, whilst the alarm clock, kitchen timer, and tourist maps have been removed from the trader. The Discord has also seen some changes, with many redundant channels being removed to make space for a new S4 server when next season's Sakal map and Daisy Frostline comes out. We've added 2 new faction slots. This is the Brain faction and Star faction, and their respective flags have been removed from the loot pool to prevent them from being used by mistake by other players. Groups looking to form a faction must now have a minimum of 5 active members. This is up from the previous 4, and faction leaders must be at least 18 years old. We also waved goodbye to the Craftsman, Biohazard, and Deadshot accolades. These have now been replaced by the Engineer, Skinless, and Killjoy accolades. The Engineer accolade can be achieved by hitting 500 repair logs in a single account. The Skinless accolade is earned by getting a double kill within 20 seconds of spawning in. This accolade is named after one of our Xbox players who kept finding himself logging in next to a geared player last season. And lastly, the Killjoy accolade is earned by killing another player who's on a 20+ kill streak, effectively stopping that player from getting the Oppenheimer accolade. That's all the changes from the Season 9 wipe. We also released a Day 1 patch 9.0.1 to address an issue with the server's weather, as it was constantly raining before. And a few days ago we released the 9.0.2 hotfix to address an issue with the gas airstrikes that weren't working on Livonia servers. This patch also included a fix for server lag related to excessive spawn events at red zones. We're happy to say the servers are now running much more smoothly since this change, with far less lag spikes. However, as always, there's always more work to do. That's everything for today. Now, whether you're new to the server or a JZ veteran, welcome to Season 9. We're really looking forward to another successful season ahead, and we're closing in on that 20,000 members milestone, so thank you to each and every one of you for your contributions to making Juzt Zurvive what it is today, and I'll see you in game.
Just survive, kill it, just survive. On it, run it, just survive, get it, just survive.